Hey guys, welcome back to another Lore Olympus video. I'm Dazzling Kate for those who are new here, and welcome back for those who are old here. Now, last Lore Olympus video, I said it was going to be my last one, but you guys are really wanting to make sure I stick with my end of the deal of 2 parts. I was hoping you guys would forget, but I guess not. I was originally going to turn it into like a stream, but then I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend hours and hours talking about Lore Olympus. So instead, I'll just go with the original plan, which was to make it into a, you know, video. This will cover all the side plots that went nowhere in this series, or do get mentioned, but they're never really worked on or developed or anything. It's just kind of there to either be brownie points or sympathy points or whatever the kind of the fuck points that Rachel wanted to have in the series. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Join my membership if you haven't, if you want access to my Discord, and check out my coffee. It's really beneficial to my channel to continue making such content. So please, please do check it out. Because my torment of dealing with Lore Olympus is almost at an end. I only have one more kind of video to make, and that is rewriting Lore Olympus, and I'll be done. But let's get into today's video. So, first up is the one thing that's always brought up but never really played around with. Persephone's family and friends of nymphs. You know, the people she's grown up with or best friends with before she came to Mount Olympus, before she met Hades, before she met any of these people that eventually became her friends and family, blah blah blah. It's so weird that we don't really get names of these nymphs until like later on. Like, hell, Persephone doesn't even bring them up. Like, oh yeah, those are my friends. They're also kind of, my family too. They died. Yeah. I don't really remember their names. They're not really that important. You want to go like hang out in like the coffee room or something, Hades? Cause I'm Persephone. Like that's all I really get vibes of from her whenever any of her like even her family of nymphs that just she grew up with these people and they're just disregarded. I mean, they don't the family of nymphs that come over to like during that one episode, well, those couple of I think it was a couple of episodes where basically her family comes over and they meet Hades. It's kind of like, a form fuzzy wuzzy kind of family episode where it focuses on her like getting like her family getting to know Hades and kind of having like fun, heartwarming scenes, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't really do much of anything, to be honest. Like, we never see them at the wedding, we never see them at the coronation. It's like, why? They're your family, girl, and you're just dismissing them like they're underclass citizens. They shouldn't be near you. They don't deserve to breathe the same air you breathe. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting vibes that she was originally just like really done being a country farm girl who, decides to ditch her family and friends so she can get like, just so she can lay with Hades. Like, get to be her sugar baby for Hades. Like, what the hell? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And you're telling me these characters are supposed to be, part of her life, but after she gets to Mount Olympus, it's just like she dismisses them, she makes them like she doesn't even contact them. Like you're telling me the same Persephone who's just like, missing her home at the beginning of season 1 doesn't really contact her friends and family? Like if they removed the nymphs and just had it be Persephone and her mom, then yeah, I can understand. But these damn characters, they're supposed to be her friends and family, and you're telling me she's not like wanting to connect with them. She doesn't bring them up to Hades. It's always like, about her, or maybe a little bit of Hades, like a tiny bit of Hades. So this is like something I noticed in the plot that doesn't get really much expansion on. And she's supposed to be this sweet and innocent, like, family close kind of girl, but no, 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 no. We do not dare bring up these, like, nymph friends and nymph family members, because it's a big no-no. Despite, there are scenes where they're like, very close knit, and you're saying Persephone's just like, fuck you guys. Like, I got like Hades, like, giant freaking mansion now. I got like all these dogs and junk. I don't need you guys anymore. It's so bad. Like even the nymphs that died, and Persephone's not traumatized. Persephone doesn't care. Like, for someone who's dealt with as someone who deals with her death of her friends and her, family members, like, these are her, they're all connected very closely to Persephone. You're telling me after, like, oh, returning to Olympus and just like, well, not returning to Olympus, but like going to Olympus, forgetting about them, it's it feels ridiculous, like a super fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that's just insane, like, that she just disregards them. She doesn't invite them to the wedding. She doesn't really do much of anything for them. She's just like, they're just a robot family. They're just there to make Persephone, like, look relatable, but really they're robots. They're nothing. They're just they're background characters, to the point where if you mention them, you'll quickly forget them, and it makes me confused as to why the hell Persephone even, like, why did Rachel even give Persephone these characters if they're not going to even make an impact on her personality, other to show other than to show that Persephone is just basically a giant brat without, like, she's basically a brat. Like, she only has these nymph characters to show that she's sociable, that she's connectable, when really it doesn't do shit. But let's move on to the next topic. And that is Lucy's story that fell flat so fucking fast. After Mente's, like, story arc and being turned into a plant, Rachel needed to find someone else to get, like, put her anger out on. Like, she needed somebody to, like, make Persephone be all girl boss and shit, and show that she's, like, independent, fierce, and whatever the fuck else she wanted to, like, do with it. And it's just like, Loose is just a freaking last edition for, like, Rachel's fantasies of telling someone off to back off her man. That's basically it. That's basically it. And it's kind of weird that Persephone wanted to kill her, but then, like, the paperwork aspect was too annoying to her. She didn't want to, like, deal with that. Like, who cares? Girl, girl, you're the fucking queen of the underworld, and you're telling me Hades wouldn't just hire some asshole who knows what they're doing to, like, write that paperwork fast down for you, and then you just move on. It's so insulting because Luce was in some versions of the story, in some versions of the myth, was originally Hades' wife, the first one, the one he grieved and turned into a poplar tree. No, 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 no. We're not gonna have a sweet, touching moment like that. No, no, no. We're gonna turn her into a sugar baby. Except, like, it's basically Persephone, but, like, if she was stupid and stuff. To show that Persephone is really intelligent and really, it's so weird. Like, I was reading how some of the people reacted to Lucy's story and how Persephone was, like, presented to her, and a lot of people did not like how discriminating. Like, this again, this is kind of connected back to her family of nymphs. Like, Is Persephone just ashamed that she had like friends and family that were nymphs, and with Luce, she just wanted to like kind of be racist? Like I see this a lot. I see this so much that Persephone basically represents like privilege, like privileged white rich ladies, and then her attacking nymphs, which are who are the minorities in the stories. And I get that in a lot of like in a lot of the myths, nymphs are definitely mistreated a lot, and it's that's part of the story. But in the case of Luce, she was basically like, okay, some versions she's very much loved by Hades, and other versions, yeah, it's kind of like the same kidnapping of Persephone, but with like Luce. It's very very hard to really make a understanding of how to really have the relationship between Hades and like Luce. Like, but other than that, like there's so much more baggage than this. That I just wanted to talk about how Rachel just basically uses Luce to like let Persephone's frustrations get the best of her. She needs to kind of let out some steam, and why not just barge into someone's house and like ruin it for them, and start threatening them and shit. Like, let's be real. Menthe didn't do that. Like, Menthe, yeah, she slapped Hades. She also misguided Persephone to like the wrong building. And I know some people might be like, but she had bad intentions. Well, if you heard rumors, and I get, like, if you're in a relationship with a man, and you're kind of anxious about this other woman who is threatening your relationship, you would probably do the same. But like, if Menthe does it, it's bad. When Persephone does it, it's girl power. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get that. Like, come on. Also, you might hear Evie in the background just like panting, just because she's like trying to get my attention to like pet her, and I'm doing my best to like give her attention. And it's like, come on. Like, you're the only thing that's motivating me to finish this video, Evie. And it's just crazy. But okay. Also, aside from aside from that, I was like just recalling what some people have said, that Luce is just there to be a reference. Like, I was talking to one of my friends, like Ravenflame, and she was like, "Well, I don't really think Luce is really there as a good motivate, like a good character or any character development at all, or even an arc. Not even a background character. She's just there to be a reference to how many characters, like from mythology, that Rachel really knows." And I'm just like, that makes lots of sense. Just basically being a reference for some people, and it's just crazy to me because I do think that in a lot of ways, it's like, sorry, I'm just walking around. I'm making sure I get some things dealt with. You might hear some dogs barking in the background, and some movements, and some other things. And it's just me walking around my room trying to like focus on giving my dog space. But yeah, it's like I have like wireless headphones, so I'm able to just talk and do things at the same time. So if you hear any background noise, it's just me moving around. But yeah, it's just crazy to me because in a lot of ways, Luce is just really treated like a diet version of Menthe. Like, nothing really there going on. And the last point is, she's only there to prove Hades' loyalty to Persephone and show how deeply in love they are. Even though Hades only knew Persephone for less than 3 months, yet 10 years later, he's still like, oh, I miss that girl. Despite him breaking up with Mente, who he's known for like, I don't know, a couple of years, I think. And he's able to move on from her quickly. Persephone only being there for a couple of months. It's like, what the hell? It doesn't make any sense. And there we have Luce just basically being Like, it would have made sense if he had dated her during the 10-year separation. It would have been something Hades would have done. He's already proven that he can't be, like, loyal to Mente. What makes you think he's gonna be loyal and so true to Persephone? Like, come on, that doesn't make any sense. But okay, fine, Rachel, fine, fine. That we'll continue, we'll continue. This one is probably the most disappointing one out of them all because Artemis is really mistreated in the story. Like, let's be real. Artemis is just treated like a second thought, even in her own story arcs that we barely get, even though she's only connected to Apollo or Persephone. And that's it. That's it. Nothing else. She's just there to either try and have drama between her family, Leto and Apollo, or she's there to kind of be a bad best friend, but she's supposed to be Persephone's best friend and roommate. But we never really see them hang out aside from shopping. But then, even then, Eros takes over that, and Persephone's just like more with him than with Artemis, who, let's be real, should feel furious that she kind of ditched her in her own house. And kind like she has this personality that makes it really difficult to be friends with her. And Persephone was able to kind of do that, but then was like, you know what? I found other better friends, Artemis. You can go fuck yourself. Like, that's what I was getting throughout the entirety of the series is that she's treated like this person nobody wants to hang out with. Not even, you know, Persephone and even her own brother. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So this is insane. But yeah, she's treated like a feminazi bitch, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically someone who is like very keen on pushing feminazi beliefs onto everybody and makes it seem like it's bad to be a feminist. Like, there are good ways to show that, and there's bad ways to show that. Artemis is a. Oop, might have punched the microphone, and you might have heard something like a bump. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm expressing myself with my hands and just being like, what the hell? Like, you have a character who you can make into a badass, you know, girl boss kind of character, but instead you make her the most annoying character that nobody wants to hang out with. And she's just treated like an afterthought or a joke. And that's unfortunate because this, you know, Artemis in mythology is very, very powerful. And oh my god, I'm hearing my other dog whimper, and I'm just like, okay, I give in. I'll open the cage. But you get what I mean? It's just she's mistreated like she's some kind of like she's some kind of like afterthought. Like, come on. But okay, fine, fine, fine. Go for it. Fine. Fine. She, and it just gets worse from here. Like, okay, fine. So she's supposed to be the protector of women, yet, you know, didn't believe her best friend. Despite her already having vengeance for her mother in mythology, like, all these stories of her, you know, mother and how she seeked vengeance for her mother, it just, it made sense. It made sense. But then it's just like, oh, I can't even notice if my best friend is like, you know, getting like looked at weirdly by my older brother, and also being protective of her, you know, before the incident happened. But oh, okay, fine, 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 fine. But okay. From start to finish, she's never really been a good character, never been given a good character motivation or development. Like, I'll tell you right now, she's the same as she was when she first started, and she is the same at the very end. Nothing really there to show true character development other than her mommy issues and brother issues. That's basically the sum of it. And, you know, at the end, she gets to hang out with Celine. I Yay, I guess. I don't know. It's just fucking ridiculous to me that she is like treated like a second, like, as a last thought to any story, and we could have actually had something interesting happen for her. But no, it's just kind of like second thought, and now we have to deal with the annoyances of her actions, of her basically being an annoying character, let's be real. But okay, fine, fine. Let's go that route. Again, you might hear me like shove, trying to keep my dogs quiet, so I might get up every now and then. But it's just her story is basically bad. There's nothing that's really redeemable about her story development or any character development whatsoever. She's just treated as how she was before, and that's it. We don't really get to see her do anything worthwhile. We don't really get to see her actually be a vengeance. Like, god, it's there's many stories, and yeah, we don't really get to see that for her in the like in this story. Okay, I guess. Like, I wasn't expecting her to actually do something useful for once. She can just basically be in the background and treated like a afterthought. Got it. Leading us to the next thing that I it will be a short one. I promise. I promise it will be a fast one with this one. But Hera and Hera and Echo's relationship. Where did this come from? I don't know. Did Rachel only do this for the sake of giving fan service and brownie points for representation, just like she did with Athena and Hastia? Ring, ring, ring. That's it. That's it. When I saw this at the very end, I was just like, why? Like, why? Why should it like why should they be together? Like, what makes them fan servicey? Like, we don't really get to see that when they're like, when Echo is first introduced. It's just like, well, I kind of thought of it last minute. It's like another last minute addition for Rachel to put some brownie points for representation. It's never really developed, it's never really explained, it's never really touched on. It's just, oh, look at how cute they are together. Like, guys, like, seriously, come on. Like, they're amazing together, they're perfect together, blah blah blah. That's basically Rachel's explanation, is that they're just there to be fan service and brownie points for representation. There's no real thought put behind it. It's just there just because she can get away with it. That's about it. And that's how far I'm going to treat it, cuz she's not going to give me an explanation. I'm not going to go into every detail as to why this relationship doesn't make sense, because it just came out of nowhere. What do you want me to talk about? Like, oh, it just suddenly happened. That's it. But moving on to the next topic at hand. Aurelius, this villain time is just, another last minute thing. I'm getting lazier and lazier with each slide, I know, but still, it's just another last minute thing to show how fast the final battle ends. Like, remember, Gaia just comes out of nowhere, rips Apollo out, bam. That's it. No badass fight. There's no big ultimate battle between them. It's just like, boom. That's the end. And he doesn't really have much motivation than other, evil that it's just evil. He's just evil. Did this around the same time as his own son, because why not? It didn't make much sense. Like, I didn't really pay much attention to like the story to begin with when it came to like Orinos coming out of nowhere. I was just like, whatever, bro. You do you, I guess. I just kind of gave up. Oh my god. It's just, again, you might hear Evie in the background panting just because she's trying to get my attention, and I'm trying to give her as much attention as I can with belly rubs and butt scratches. That's the only thing that really is keeping me sane in this entire video, is that she's there watching me record, and I'm just like, you know what? You're more worth it than like any of these annoying things I have to talk about. But okay, fine. Let me take a sippy sip and we shall continue. Okay, so that's basically it. Because there's nothing really there to keep us there for like Orianus's villain time. I freaking swear. It's like with my dogs, they're just like they know what I'm about to do. I'm like giving them like treats every freaking time. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm using my headphone mic, but it's just like, ugh. Other than that, there's nothing really there to keep us there for his villain time. I wish I could say, oh, this was interesting, that was interesting. It just came out of nowhere. It's straight out of left field. It just kind of makes the whole Kronos thing look all of it's Okay, moving on. Okay, so Dionysus' story felt unnecessary. I'm gonna be real here. It's he's introduced as a baby, then he's a toddler, a little while, and then like he's now a teen and a young adult. How is this possible? Like I get that they're gods and stuff, but why is it that the other characters took years to grow up, but then Dionysus is like, you know what, we're gonna skip around with this. I don't really care about developing normally. It's like it's why I use the specific picture of him because it's like it's freaking awful. Like, come on, seriously? You serious? Like, okay, I guess. So yeah, he's only there for fan service of Hades and Persephone being parents to a kid that looks just like them. Like he's kind of like pinkish, like Persephone, but with a little bit of blue and white hair from Hades. Even though it's like Zeus's kid, blah blah blah. They have a lot in common. They got lots in common. Like yeah, totally. He really doesn't have a reason to really be with Persephone and Hades other than Persephone wanting a baby. That's it. That's basically it. He was basically I I kind of was bummed out Zeus didn't take him to like the nymphs and you know Persephone's just like, oh, I want him. He's so cute. He looks just like Hades. Oh my god, I love him. It's just like, what the fuck? Just, just let Zeus do whatever he wants. Oh my gosh, I swear my dogs are trying to get my attention while I'm trying to record the video, and I'm like, I just have little bits of time left. Oh my god, are you guys serious? Like, come on. Let me see if I can distract them. I don't think Evie likes blueberries. You might actually see her, like, hear her, like, trying to scratch at it. And it's crazy. But okay. He's really not there for anything else, just being a fan service baby. That's it. That's the weirdest sentence I ever had to say, and I don't think I'll ever say it again. Let's move on. Now, okay, let's get to this. This is what I've been kind of noticing with some of this, and that is basically that Thanatos' romance makes no damn sense. I freaking swear. Okay, his romance and story, it doesn't really go anywhere. He's just basically like with Daphne, it's just basically Persephone x Hades 2.0. That because flowers and death. That they're basically that. That's it. But I think it's really annoying that he's probably the most abused in this fucking series. Like, he didn't end up with someone who cares. She's just like, as long as it fits to her agenda, it's caring. It's just another toxic relationship. Like he's jumping from toxic relation, like he jumped from his mom to Hades to Daphne. It just doesn't go well for this boy. And it's like, what the hell? And it doesn't make things better that Hades doesn't learn shit. Like, he reluctantly took him in. He tried to raise him, and then you have that awkwardness when he's a little, much older as an adult, sleeping with his dad's girlfriend. Like, oh man, we're not even gonna go into that today because I don't think I ever want to go back into that category of talking about that. And then we have to deal with him turning out the way he is because Hades is just basically an asshole. Like, you're telling me that he's dealt with all this, the neglect from his mom, the reluctant care from Hades, and then being spoken down to by like Hades at work, and just it's annoying. He's never really given an apology or any connection with Hades after all this ends. It's just like, oh, okay, fine. Hades, you tried. I'm still traumatized, but I'm fine. I'm fine. This seriously, this shouldn't have even been a thing. Based off of like the topic alone, I think Thanatos deserved a little better for his, character. He deserved a lot more than just, oh, he's he's miniature Hades, but with being gray and white. That's it. Like, okay, I guess we're not going to go anywhere else other than that. His story could have been expanded upon more for Hades to learn that maybe he's a piece of shit dad, and we could have made that more than just like 2 episodes of after Hades goes to apologize to Thanatos and making it seem like men problems aren't important because they're men and who cares about men, and we're just going to ignore that factor altogether. But if it's Hades, it's totally fine because Hades is Hades. And oh my god, I will never understand this at all. I'll never understand the like facts that, Rachel thought, hey, this would be fun to do. Let me just basically torment this character, give him a shitty ass mom, a reluctant father figure, and then throw him into a relationship with his dad's girlfriend, and then being tossed to another girlfriend who couldn't really give a shit unless it's in her benefit. Like, come on. And don't you dare say, but she does care. It's, yeah, to some degree, but in other ways, she kind of forced him to confront his dad, who was what, like, well, his dad, quotation marks around that, to confront Hades, to basically have to deal with the, you know, his anxiety with him. Then it's just like, it's fine, Hades. You might have traumatized him. You might have hurt him. You might have done all this other shit to him. But it's totally fine. We get it. We get it. You get like a cookie for a pass. And then the moment with him basically giving Thanatos a sandwich, you could have had some, good emotional moments there, huh? Oh no, we don't care about men connection or relationships because who cares about that? I mean, like Rachel literally did make Apollo seem like a piece of work, and he's like one of the most influential bisexual beings in mythology. But okay, fine, 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 fine. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But yeah, we're just gonna make his issues not seem like a big deal, other than he has Daphne now to fix his problems to some degree. As long as it's in her favor, it's totally fine. So moving on to the next topic at hand that I just am pissed off the most about is that Demeter and I gotta translate it again. I gotta actually use a translator. Because I know I'm not gonna say this name right. I know, I know. Why do you think I'm using the translator? I'm trying my best to do what I can. Hecate, Hecate. I just, I may have spelled it wrong. This is one of the versions, okay? Anyways, they're a part of the original kidnapping of Persephone's mythology. You know, the one person who saw what happened outside of Halos? Yeah, Hecate, who is basically reduced to being just Hades' assistant to some degree. Like, partner, I guess, side partner, I don't know. Like, Rachel makes it so complicated to really look into this stuff. But yeah, Demeter is featured as emotional and mental gaslighting mother, and she's evil. She's evil, and Hecate is just Hades' assistant. Even though she is probably one of the most powerful goddesses in mythology. But no, it's totally fine. She doesn't need to be like seen as great or anything. Just second best at most. It's like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And don't even get me started on how they only use these characters to show how depressed and how sad Hades or Persephone's life is, and not so much on them as individual characters. They're just there to basically be side stepping stools for these characters, and you can't even get them to like work on their own. It's just like you gotta rely on them as characters for Persephone and Hades to use for their stories. That's basically it. They're not there to be able to be themselves. It's spoken like every other side character who is a god or goddess in this story. But these two have definitely been bashed to pieces, turned to dust, and it's insane. But yeah, they're just basically there to show how difficult Persephone and Hades' relationship is with the other people in their lives, and how their love needs to expand more on. And you get what I mean, don't you? Like, you get what I mean. But yeah, it feels like we were robbed. It feels like these two could have actually been more impactful to the story, other than side character that doesn't really matter. Like, did you even know what Hecate does? I don't know. I don't. Is there 5 traits I can really say about her character? Uh, not really. Is there anything interesting about Demeter's relationship with any of the other characters, other than her being featured as a super strict mother who gets on everyone's nerves? It's no. We're not really given them. We're not really given any personality other than what we've been given throughout the story, and it's sad. It's very sad because these two deserve a lot more respect in the story, a lot more character development, and a lot more personality than what we were given. But okay, fine. We're at the final stage, and that is one of the last ones that just eh. So remember when Hades said he couldn't have kids? Then how did Persephone have the last one in the story? I don't know. They never explain it. They're just like, eh, they don't explain it. They don't explain it. And what's funny is that these characters, they don't even like, they don't show the nymphs there. They don't show anyone else there, like Thanatos, who's supposed to be Hades, adopted son. No. Like, this is so fucking annoying because I'm like, so we've had two, imaginary scenarios where Hades has a kid with Persephone, and Thanatos wasn't seen in his life as a child. You know, someone who he raised, he's not seen as his child. He's just seen as a annoying pest. That really doesn't make much sense. It really does not add anything other than maybe, maybe. But okay, fine. We're just given that they. uh, I don't know. My brain is off. My I don't know what else to say. Like, well, this was one of the plot points, and then Rachel just back backpedals and tries to turn it into something else completely, and now we're just supposed to accept it because that's how happy endings happen. You know, we don't get Thanatos there. We don't get the nymphs there. We don't get Dionysus there. No, 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 no. That wouldn't fit into their perfect little family. Hell, we don't even get Rhea. Like, Rhea. Like, what the fuck? That's Hades' mom. Why isn't she there? Oh, right, because if we did that, it would be confusing to tell if it was, Persephone or Rhea in the bed. You know what? I'm gonna say this right now. Fuck you, Lore Olympus. Fuck Persephone. Fuck Hades. Fuck all this shit, you know? I'm done. I'm done. I spent a good majority of my time reading this story from beginning to end, and there's nothing redeeming about it. There's nothing worthwhile about it. These plot lines that went nowhere, and these characters that deserved so much better than to be treated like shit. But no, that's totally fine. We're all living in Rachel's fantasies, okay? That's basically what the sum of this is Rachel's fantasies. But okay, guys, okay, I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop because we don't want to ruin this. Even though I've lost a lot of sweat and tears and blood in this battle, and I can finally say I'm done reading this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm all finished. I don't have to deal with this anymore. I am so happy. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, and everyone else for making me not lose my sanity in this game of dealing with Lore Olympus. But yeah, guys, that is it for now. The only Lore Olympus thing I got left is that what if I wrote Lore Olympus story idea thing I gotta finish for a video in the future. It will probably be posted before the end of this year. I'm not really motivated to really rush it though, so it's gonna be a while before it's posted. But I guarantee it will be out before the end of next year. I mean, before the end of this year. Anyways, hopefully you liked this, and if you did, and if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. It would help my channel a lot. Check out my memberships, check out my coffee. It would mean the world to me. So anyways, stay safe, stay cool, and most importantly, guys, stay hydrated. This is Dazzling Kate, signing the hell out of here.